it's Stephanie Nchege with Finally Living Coaching. And today I just wanted to discuss with you a very difficult subject. It can be a very challenging subject, and that is unforgiveness. I want to ask you the question, what is the purpose of unforgiveness? You may not have thought about it in those terms. What is the purpose of unforgiveness? People a lot of times talk about why we should forgive. People talk about why forgiveness is so important. But I want to flip it just a little bit today and ask you, what is the purpose of unforgiveness? Everything has a purpose. And today I'm going to challenge you that once you have identified and agreed upon the purpose of this unforgiveness, I want to challenge you to look at it, to examine and see if it is serving you well or not. If it's something that is in your life that is an asset to you, or if it's a liability. And then you actively have the choice to decide whether or not you're going to continue to allow it to be in your life. So now let's look at it. I often talk about how things have a purpose. For instance, we talked about one day about how the purpose of a toothbrush is to brush your teeth, to get your teeth clean, get your mouth, your breath fresh. That's the purpose of it. And a lot of times we use things that for a different purpose than what they were designed and created for. Now, the purpose of unforgiveness. The purpose of unforgiveness, what we have told ourselves over and over and over again, is that the purpose of it is to protect us, to prevent, block us from being hurt again. That's what we tell ourselves. Now, here's the thing. Is that really true? The truth is, unforgiveness, the purpose of it is that it walls you off from that person. It walls you off from deep connections. That is the purpose of it. If you don't want deep connections, continue to abide in unforgiveness. That is its purpose. That's what it is designed for. When you hold on to it, when you tell that person, no, I am not going to forgive you. You have done too much. You have gone too far. You have decided that I am blocking you out. I am walling you off. Now, here's the problem. When you create walls, the same walls that you were intending to block and keep you safe, they also have other effects. They also wall you off from blessings. Think about it. You build a wall, you build a fence. Now, it blocks you from that person that you didn't want to let in. But that fence had to have some holes dug in order for the planks to go in. Those holes that were dug, those are your hurts. And just because we can't see them does not mean that those holes are not there. So what's happening is we built a wall, we put that plank down inside of it, but we had to dig a hole and we didn't address the hole that was still there. So now the wall, a lot of time, is deeper and deeper because the bigger that wall goes, the bigger that hole is. And so the hole never gets addressed. And we block off not only the person that hurt us, but now we're blocking off others who may want to get in. Others who may want to be a blessing in our lives, but we have walled them off too because we are afraid of being hurt again. The walls, a lot of times, they get so high that people start to say, I'm not going to try to climb that wall. I'm not going to try to scale that wall. And now we are blocking off others. The other thing that comes along with the walls, think about a wall. The only way things that are alongside that wall, they don't get light. They can't get the light. They're shaded. So now we are putting up walls and we are missing out on light. We are missing out on connections. We are missing out on so many blessings because we have trapped ourselves in. The other thing that comes along with it, when you have walls of unforgiveness, it's a soul issue. And your soul is the storehouse of your emotions. Now, statistics show that when your soul is diseased, when you are allowing things like anger, resentment, all these things to come in, your soul becomes diseased, and it has a direct correlation to the physical body. So now not only does the soul, the emotional part start to physically have trouble, but also your physical body can start to have physical trouble. And statistics show that illnesses start to develop when we have unforgiveness. Illnesses such as cancer. A study showed that 66% of people who had cancer were wrestling with some issue of unforgiveness. That's staggering. When the soul is not pure, when the soul is not clean and healthy, our physical has a direct correlation with it. That's one of the results of unforgiveness. So actually what happens is we now have forgiveness therapy. We do. We actually have therapies that focus specifically on forgiveness, of how to start breaking down the walls of unforgiveness. Once you start to realize the purpose of unforgiveness, you realize that it's not really an asset. It's more of a liability. And you make the choice to say that I'm not going to carry that liability in my life. There are too many other things that are important. There are too many other things that I'm being blocked from to allow this to serve and stay in my life. So how do we get rid of the unforgiveness? If we make the decision that we want to get rid of it, if we make the decision that, you know what, being right, feeling justified is not as important as being free. Okay? There are things that come along, benefits that come along with forgiving. And I'm going to share with you some of those benefits. Number one, the benefit of forgiveness. It becomes a gift to yourself. It is a gift because now you are free to connect with others. You are free to love deeper. You have like an awakening where you can breathe again, where you have clarity in your life, where you can think. It is a gift to you. Number two, the other benefit that comes along with forgiveness, with letting go of unforgiveness, the benefit is you start to have peace of mind. And that is a greater reward, a greater gift than anything. Number three, it's a sign of, you know what, I'm going to take care of me. You often hear people say that forgiveness is more for you than it is the other person. That is absolutely true, because when you're able to let go and rid yourself of the toxins, now you are able to start to heal. Now you are able to start to get and receive forgiveness. There's a spiritual principle that says, in order for you to be forgiven, you must first be able to forgive. So this is a sign that you want to take care of yourself. And I'll say this final thing. You find out that you are strong. There's a quote by Gandhi that says, "The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong." It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of strength to be able to let others know that just because I forgive you doesn't mean that I'm agreeing with what you did, doesn't mean that I thought what you did was right. But what it does mean is I have enough courage, I have enough grace, I have enough strength, and I love myself enough to let it go, to not hold on to it, to not allow those holes that were trying to be dug inside of me for those walls and those planks to take root. I'm not going to allow that any longer. I'm not going to allow that to be pitched in my life. So the question again is, what is the purpose of unforgiveness? Is it serving you well, or is it time to release? I'm Stephanie Nchege of Finally Living Coaching. Go ahead and hit the subscribe video so that you'll get alerts and notifications when we share more content videos like this. And feel free to check out our website, Finally Living Coaching. You can schedule a free discovery call, and we'll be glad to start working with you on the 5 ways to break down the walls of unforgiveness.